Yeah, man, it's Black Friday, day after Thanksgiving. Hope y'all had a good one. It's 2023, and I want to talk about a few things. For one, I've been going on and on for the last 3 or 4 videos about them attacking my genitals with broadcasts. And again today, that's the inspiration for this video. They're still attacking my genitals with broadcasts. This Atlanta-based gang stalking group using neural monitoring satellite broadcast that they are controlling on mind control to attack people physically in horrible ways. It's torture, and I believe completely that it merits a self-defense reaction. In any circumstance, when someone is doing something to hurt you, it is perfectly legal to do anything you must to disable them from being able to harm you. Okay, so this is a very strange situation, obviously, and I can't imagine trying to be the first one to go in a courtroom and say, "Yeah, I physically disabled this person, or hurt somebody, or ended somebody's life to defend my own life." That they were using broadcast. The thing is, you would know who's doing broadcasts if you knew who it was and you went and found them, because they would have the mind control thing on their head. They would be accessing neural monitoring, and then you would know. And at that point, I mean, I don't know if you could gain the evidence that they were doing that. Would it be self-defense? Would you get off on hurting or ending their life if it was to save your own life, to stop them from hurting you, to defend yourself? That'd be a pretty wild case, wouldn't it? That'd be the first, and that'd be a world-renowned case that everybody would be paying attention to. I believe those kind of things are coming in the future for millions of people. When everybody finds out who's been doing this stuff to physically harm them, there's going to be a bunch of people out there headhunting, trying to figure out where the person is on mind control that's doing them harm, so they can physically stop them, defend themselves by any means necessary. One thing I want to mention is yesterday was Thanksgiving. Okay, hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. I'm kind of out in the world, going different places, so I wasn't able to really do the family Thanksgiving thing, and because it's just very difficult sometimes to get back from different places within one day and then come right back to where I need to be. So anyway, my Gangstalkers don't take holidays, all right? And I don't know if it was last year or the year before, but somebody came on to my channel, some random person that was like part of their group, but it was like going on about how these idiots never come to any family things, and they never do anything but sit around on mind control and all this stuff. And I know it to be the truth. So I'm going to actually probably put a poll on my communities, or maybe if I could do it on this video, I'm going to put a poll out there and says, how many of you were not dealing with gang stalkers? Those of us who deal with the full-time idiots that get on mind control and do artificial telepathy and broadcast physical attacks with us. Those kind of people are the hardcore gang stalkers that sit around on mind control every day. And a lot of times they are very close-knit groups or family that does it together. But overall, I mean, you might have a couple black sheeps of a family or something, but overall, these guys are isolated. They sit around on mind control every day, all day, for years and decades, and they don't do anything else, and they don't have any other life. And this is what they've chosen, because being on mind control and living broadcast reality is better than their own actual life as a physical human being, to go around and do whatever it is they do. So their lives are very bad. I don't feel sad for them. I think they deserve the worst. I think they deserve to burn in hell for eternity and all of those things, and sit in a prison cell for the rest of the time they're alive, and think about how they used to talk trash and act like they're the toughest guys when they can attack a man's genitals with broadcasts and do things to physically mutilate people's bodies with broadcasts, and have a long-term plan that they act out and work towards every single day to try to cause damage in a prolonged way that can be attributed to something natural, or at least fool you into thinking that it's something natural because it happened over the course of, say, 5 years or something like that. And another thing about natural occurrences, somebody made in a comment yesterday about how they broke their ankle long time ago, and since then, gang stalkers like to attack that area, and that is very typical of what a gang stalker. It takes a certain type of mentality and a certain type of personality of a person to sit there on mind control and use broadcasts to torture people. Very pathetic, very weak, not cool, not very well liked, just misfit loser type of people to sit there and do that. And they all seem to have these common traits. And so what do? They literally take advantage of opportunities like that, where if they can make you believe that there's some other cause behind some pain or some ongoing injury or something like that, that's exactly what they do. They'll target that area. So like this guy was saying that they target his ankle that he broke some years back. And that's the kind of thing they'll do, because it gives you the impression that maybe there's some damage, from this ankle break years ago, and it gives them like the opportunity to get away with it. They can do it without causing a lot of suspicion. In my case, I got the gang stalkers that just give away all the secrets because they want to talk trash that bad. It makes them feel powerful and tough to talk trash about the things that they're doing while they're doing it. And, if they sit there and attack something every day, if they're not talking to you, if you don't know anything about neural monitoring, which is probably 90% of the targeted people, don't know anything about neural monitoring and actually have broadcast attack problems rather than actual medical issues or injuries. It's something related to broadcast and they have no idea. So if gang stalkers can get away with that, they would love to do that. But in my case, they love to talk trash, and they've given away all of these secrets over the years. Because if nobody's talking to you and you don't know anything about gang stalking, you would definitely believe that maybe there's a medical problem. And imagine how many people go to the doctors. Imagine how many people feel some type of way being connected to these losers. This two-way connection through broadcast, neural monitoring. Imagine how many people get on pain medication or depression medication because of gang stalking. And so it's definitely a pharmaceutical scam, but America is that in the first place. It's a lot of the big money kind of runs things, and they kind of own the politicians. And if they need to have this law or that law passed, I was watching this comedian, and he was saying, there's a thing in America. This guy's not from America. He's saying back home, there's no advertising on TV for a prescription. You go to the doctor and you tell them what's wrong, and they kind of take it from there. But in America, it's like, oh, are you feeling this? Do you feel that? And they're always advertising and pushing these prescriptions. And neural monitoring is definitely has some roots in that as well, because so many people are on medication for fake medical problems, completely fake medical problems that really can be attributed to broadcast, neural monitoring, torture, and psychological abuse is what it could really come down to. But all of this stuff is it's a very intricate thing to try to think of how to solve this problem, because you're not just dealing with gang stalkers, and it's not that the gang stalkers work for these elites or these, now I don't even want to call them elites, these horrible, evil people that would push horrible things on society for their own personal benefit. Okay, that's what makes them elite, then sure. Okay, but and the gang stalkers, they don't work for them. Okay, this technology is leaked out there. Some people get it and then they use it this way, and they're just falling into the what is expected, what would be expected from some idiots like this to be able to get neural monitoring and the abuse of power and just the weak idiot that suddenly found itself in a powerful, strong position that would abuse others in a form of retaliation for their own shortcomings. And that's what gang stalking is in a huge way. And these pharmaceutical companies or big business in general or politicians or world leaders or whoever, that they allow this to go on. And it's not that the gang stalkers work for them. They're just doing what these other people expected them to do when they leaked this technology out there, because they're idiots and their personalities can be predicted like that because they're weak losers, weak idiot losers. And so you would expect them to act in this way if they were to gain power with technology that could give them power over people and all sorts of advantages. They act just as they would be expected to act. So they don't actually have to work for anybody. There's nothing official. Nobody said, hey, we're going to sign you up. Everybody's always talking about that. And that's like the biggest myth in neural monitoring, is that there's like, oh, you're going to be in this program. We're going to target you, and we're going to sign you up and pay you benefits and gift cards to torture this person. And that's not how not even a little bit. It's not even close to anything like that. It's not like that at all. 100% not like that. Okay. Same thing with everybody says like the police are all involved, and the police are, for the most part, there's corrupt cops. There's corrupt everythings. But in general, the police don't know what you're talking about. And then to do their job, they have to assume that you're crazy. If you call them talking about the holograms and the people in the trees or whatever, of course, they're going to ask you if you need some psychological help or something like this. This is protocol. Okay. And even if they did know about it, what are they supposed to do about it? Because are they supposed to say, okay, you know what? We're going to go over here and arrest these people for broadcast torture, gang stalking you with remote neural monitoring. What's the charge even? There's no such charge. Okay, so the entire judicial and legal system has to be rearranged for this whole thing. So that's what I'm saying. It's a very intricate thing to try to figure out how to navigate if you're going to expose them or, bring them to justice or whatever. I think you will see cases of vigilante justice, and you probably already have with like some of these mass shootings or different things. And shame on a gang stalking pathetic idiot that would push somebody to go out and do something random like that, or to make somebody think that it was somebody different through broadcast and manipulation with neural monitoring while you sit there safely in your little shithole in probably your mom's basement or something like that. It's pathetic. It's very, very pathetic. And honestly, the gang stalkers are the ones that should be executed legally, capital punishment, legally executed through capital punishment for the things that they cause and the torture that they commit. That's really what should happen. But meanwhile, you got all kinds of people out here that are very confused about how gang stalking and neural monitoring works. And it's so difficult in the beginning, like maybe the first year or two, like you're just trying to wrap your mind around how this can even happen. And like if I'm honestly like, I consider myself a smart person, but I would also consider myself very lucky for a lot of things. One, to even still be alive. But a big thing is that I had have and had gang stalkers and a group of gang stalkers that some I knew personally, some I knew as they got neural monitoring. I knew people that were targeted that ended up getting neural monitoring and joining the same group. Okay, I was very close to some people that had neural monitoring, and then a lot of the people in this group that are gang stalkers, they're so pathetic that they want to talk trash and brag about it, and they've put themselves way too close to the targeting gang stalking situation. So I'm very lucky to have that aspect and to know people and to have idiots that are so dumb enough to talk trash and then just like be on all my devices and everything else and have me finding stuff, about where they've taken over accounts and different things that they've done, like all kinds of stuff that, so it's given me a very rare insight, I guess you would say, into how this really works and what's really going on. And don't forget too that there's not 20 people that have neural monitoring. There's probably 20 million people that have neural monitoring. Okay, and if you think about the 7 or 8 billion people on Earth, the 7 or 8 thousand million people that are on Earth, that's just a little piece of a percentage. It's nothing. Okay, if 20 million people had it, that's not a huge deal. Okay, and I'm going to talk a lot about different things like that in the upcoming videos of like even stuff like when you have like wars and terrorist attacks and different things, and some people will say like governments allow these things to happen so they can have a reason to go into wars and stuff like that. And with neural monitoring and the capabilities that it gives you, you would have to almost wonder if stuff like that's not true, or either both sides have their neural monitoring and all those kind of people have their neural monitoring and they're not able to connect with or spy on each other through neurological processes. Because if you have your neural monitoring, as far as I know, nobody can get on it. Now, maybe if you have your neural monitoring, somebody can always get on it. I'm sure that they have ways that like higher up people can still get on anybody's. But as far as like if you're a gang stalker, like another gang stalker can't get on your neural monitoring. And you hear like targeted people say, I can't wait to get my neural monitoring so I can do to them what they've been doing to me, which is impossible because they already have their neural monitoring. So unless you get your neural monitoring and then somehow convince them to let you connect to them through neural monitoring, and then you're able to do that and they let you without disconnecting you because they have their neural monitoring. They are protected by themselves by simply going in the settings and say, no, you're blocked. No, you can't connect to me. No, which is what we could do, which is if we had it, we could say, no, you're not coming within my radius of human body. You're not touching me with your broadcast. No, you're not connected to me. No, you can't yap all day with artificial telepathy, you idiot. Let me talk about another thing real quick, because all these things are just kind of going through my mind, and I got to hurry up. I got somewhere to be. But there's, when Gangstalkers get on the machine or whatever, when they get on broadcast and they like actually go into their little subconscious, what they call, what do they call it? They call it, catatonic is what they call it. Because you're like kind of sleeping, but you're kind of not. When you got that thing, it's like puts some frequencies through you, but they can change the rate of electronic impulses or whatever it is that's going through it. And so sometimes they're like, and that's when they get like really intense with the like try to push their mind on you, and like they're really powerful as a broadcast, and you can tell that they have more almost like voltage going through them, and you can hear it in their voice, and it causes them to act more erratically. But that's just some of the things that I deal with these Gangstalkers. It's almost like when the Mask guy when Jim Carrey played the Mask, and he would like put the mask on and it would cause him to just be like the most wild outgoing thing. Like that's how they get sometimes on mind control with certain settings when they're trying to do live streams and they want to put on a big show and they're like very serious about it. And that may even be more advanced equipment than just the basic little carry with you headset that a lot of them can use. That might be like the home edition that actually has like electric voltage or something like that to power up their broadcast or something. But I don't know really. But yeah. So all of those things, they're happening. But I'm going to put a poll out and say, how many of you guys have Gangstalkers that don't go away and continue to bother you on holidays? And if you do, which you probably do, if they're bothering you every day, they don't stop on holidays, it's because they're full time. They don't care about going to the family event for the holidays. They don't care about any of that. They're just Gangstalkers. They just love mind control. They're worse than crack and heroin addicts. They really are. When it comes to being on mind control, then gang stalking, they're worse than crack and heroin addicts. And it is their drug of choice, mind control. And if you're the target person, the one they call the target, okay, then you are their drug of choice. And that's how this mind control thing works. So if I'll word it where it says, if you have gang stalkers every day, do they continue to attack you on major holidays? And for me, the answer is yes. Yes, they do, because they don't care about family. They don't care about life. They don't care about anything. They just have an obsession with mind control, gang stalking, and they feel powerful to be able to torture you with broadcasts. So anyway, that's what's going on. More videos coming soon. Thank you guys for all the support, and I will see you on the next one.